where all day long, just before 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, it was announced by the Associated Press that Biden had received enough votes in Pennsylvania for them to label him the next president-elect of the United States of America. So throughout the day, I've been traveling from rallies that are pro-Biden, pro-Harris, kind of checking that out. Right now, the scene that you see some police officers down here blocking off the street. You can see some people still on the bridge, and I'll turn the camera around here in a second so that you can see more of the crowd. But this is a very diminished crowd based on what was here earlier today, and I'll turn the camera around now so we can see. But people here in Chicago have been celebrating all day. Many organizations that were involved in a lot of the movement on gaining some of the votes that got Biden, the Biden-Harris ticket, the 20 electoral college votes from Illinois. We're all out in force celebrating, and that's pretty much what it's been today. There hasn't been a lot of trash talk. There hasn't been any opposition groups that have shown up here. Just people celebrating. The subways have been packed, the parks have been full, the neighborhoods have been loud. People have been screaming from balconies and ringing cowbells, and as you can hear in the background here, a lot of horn honking, and that's all through downtown Chicago. The streets are just filled with cars, and Biden-Harris ticket supporters are down here, and they continue to celebrate after the Associated Press has basically called the election for Biden. And down here you see a very diverse group, all ages, all races, all ethnicities, all religions. A church group did march through here earlier, which kind of put police on alert, but they simply marched through with a message of love, so you haven't seen a lot of pushback here in Chicago as you may have seen in other places. Now that might not necessarily be the case in some of the suburban areas here around Chicago, but as far as downtown goes, there's been nothing but peaceful celebration of the Biden campaign, and as I said, this morning's announcement by the Associated Press and many of the other media outlets have gotten on board with it, that Joe Biden is now to be referred to as the president-elect of the United States of America. So we'll take a walk down here. This is the Michigan Avenue Bridge, just outside of Trump Tower, across the river. This is where people have lined up, and as caravans of vehicles go by, people cheer, cars honk. And as you can see, it's very rare to see somebody without a mask. Of course, there's going to be a few, but Chicago has been taking the COVID-19 very seriously, and Biden supporters as well, predominantly, from what we see on the street, have been taking it quite seriously. And again, just figured I'd check in, give you guys a view on what Chicago looks like as celebrations are ongoing throughout the entire day, and I imagine they'll go through the night as place from in front of Trump Tower, so traffic there. There are police kind of blocking out the streets, and just in preparation if anything gets out of control, lining the streets here in Chicago. And something that a lot of people are doing are taking pictures in front of those large Trump letters with Biden-Harris signs, or, as I said, there's many organizations here in Chicago that grassroots, feet on the ground, were a big part in getting a lot of those votes for Biden. And so a lot of those groups have been posing in front of the Trump Tower with their banners, their signs, their slogans, and taking their pictures there as as many have called this election, and is predominantly now being referred to in the media as the president-elect Biden. And as I mentioned before, the scene here has been that of celebration. Some have called it a demonstration. It's not a protest. It's something that maybe you would see on New Year's Eve or the winning of a World Series by a Chicago team. But definitely everyone in high spirits down here. There have been no counter activities that have caused any sort of altercations. There's been no violence. Nothing's been broken. There's no looting going on at the moment. So just continue to keep an eye on this. And like I said earlier, this is a severely diminished crowd as compared to what was here before. There are hundreds out now, but there was, I don't want to call it thousands, but there's definitely pushing well over 1,000 people just in this small area here that's cordoned off across the river from Trump Tower here in downtown Chicago. All right, that's it for now. I just wanted to check in, show you what the celebration is like here in downtown Chicago, and looks like we'll get to see some fireworks. All right.